Anasuya Sengupta is a versatile and accomplished multidisciplinary artist with a rich background in acting. She made history at Cannes earlier this year, and she's the first Indian to walk away with the award for the Best Actress in the Uncertain Regard category for her lead role in the movie The Shameless. Welcome to the MOG Sunday sessions at Museum of Goa.
Thank you, I'm so happy to be here.
We've watched the trailer, we'll jump in right into the win at Cannes. You were most recently, like we said in the news, for your win at Cannes for the Shameless. It's historic in many ways. Can you take us through the emotions you felt from then till now and what this film really personally means to you?
Okay, I mean, to start off, of course, none of this was anticipated at all. I've been working in films for several years now, about close to 15 years, but far behind the camera. So we'll get into like how this happened. But as it turns out, sometime in the middle of April is when the festival announcement came through, and I was ecstatic just with that. Just to go to a festival like Cannes with a film, having acted in a lead role, that was honestly just enough. And then to go and have it play out like that and get the award after that, I think and I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, I've not had a long spell of time to really unpack all of it, but it's been amazing. And just, I was telling Nilankur on our way here actually that I don't know how, but there's a sense of, people from all kind of different backgrounds and walks of life, and there's a collective feeling of everyone feeling so happy, and that I realized right away, and it's, to say it's special is a hopeless understatement, but that's amazing that something that is my accomplishment, so to say, but it can make so many people feel like it's theirs.
Yes, like it's theirs.
And,
so true.
And that makes me also, it really isn't just my accomplishment. I mean, I know they can award the best actress only to one person, but I think that's just a technicality, and it just feels like a really big, collective, almost team win sort of a thing.
So true, so true. Because we felt it as well when it was announced.
Thank you.
You mentioned in one of your interviews that when Konstantin Bojanov reached out to you, and he did on Facebook through common friends, that you actually tried to talk him out of it. But eventually he convinced you to read the script, and when you did it in a single sitting.
Yes.
What is it that finally made you agree to say yes?
I mean, once I read it, honestly, there was no second guessing it. I read it in one sitting. I completely fell in love with this character. I had to do it. Something called out very strongly. I knew I had to do it. I actually, many years ago, I grew up in Calcutta, and then I moved to Bombay straight after university to want to act.
Correct.
And but it didn't exactly go that way, and I found myself, to be fair, I didn't obsessively push that either. I came to Bombay with an understanding that this is something that I'm interested in, but there's other stuff that I want to learn, and I know how to do. So let's see where it goes. And I was all of 21 then. And I did see where it goes, and the other non-acting stuff is what first picked up, and life kind of moved like that. So when Konstantin came to me with this, after potentially about 15 years from when I initially wanted to act, it completely took me by surprise firstly, and that's why trying to convince him that it's a faulty decision on his part. And but thankfully I read the script, and once I read it, I don't know how, it's quite surreal. It still feels like a bit of a dream. It feels like magic. That once I read it, I remembered me from that many years ago, believing at the time that okay, maybe if it has to happen, it will someday. But I didn't know it would be 15 years on. So, but yes, once I read the script, I knew this was possibly that.
It's amazing how life takes its journeys, and 15 years later, it literally falls into your lap and all that you wanted to do.
Yeah, and it's difficult to kind of even believe that it's happening in such a charming way. Because, we tend to start believing that it's not, usually things don't happen in this way, and it was a long gap, as I said, so, but well, here we are.
The movie premiered at Cannes. We saw the trailer. It's not released in India yet. We've watched the trailer. Some of us have watched a couple of clips that were released at Cannes, which were released for public viewing. From the clips that we've watched, we know this tells the story of Renuka, the central protagonist, who is a commercial sex worker on the run. There are a handful of films possibly where the story that tell the story, that put the spotlight on a woman, and more so someone from the queer community. Did you, when you read the script and decided to take on the role, did you feel that weight of responsibility, sense of pride to tell the story of Renuka?
Absolutely, I would say. I mean, it felt like nothing short of an honor. And as you said, there have been such roles depicted in cinema previously. But me as a viewer, as an artist, as a woman, I've often found a dignity missing. And that's what I wanted to do with the character. That's what I attempted, I would say, to dignify her, to humanize her. That even before being a sex worker character, she's really a character. Before being a queer character, she's a character. There's to try and approach her as a human being. And with after a series of lots of conversations with Konstantin, also this is something we both wanted to do. That and again, a lot of stories of such people are very trauma driven, which is justifiably so. But I wanted Renuka to be more than just the product of her trauma, though, and that was tricky terrain, but that's what we set out to do.
Absolutely tricky terrain, because so you and Renuka are from completely different worlds, so to speak, with a common thread, of course, running through. But you said with the character of Renuka, you felt her joy, you felt her pain. Can you take us through the relationship you developed with the role of Renuka over the course of, like you said, you almost humanized her over the course of shooting this film, the relationship that you developed with the character?
I would say, as I said in the beginning, I think what set the ball rolling was I genuinely just fell in love with this character. I was very, very moved by this person, this strong and powerful character, despite being a victim of so many terrible circumstances, on and on and on. And that's where it started for me. And I think the prep in terms of the research and the homework, I was aware that there's a responsibility of, these are real women, these are real people,
True.
And real stories. So there was the weight. I won't say weight because I didn't see it in a weighed down manner, so to say. But there was that artistic responsibility, and I would have liked to prep longer and deeper and go into these communities, meet these people, but there are logistics of small independent films, and we don't have the
Correct.
luxury of that kind of time. So I tried to go for the next best thing, which was educate myself, read a lot, watch a lot of documentaries, and just understand for myself where to situate her. And that was the authenticity bit of it. And then the deeper I tried to become her, um, and so that I could be her as much as possible. And there are challenges, as you said. We come from very, very different backgrounds.
Yeah.
But I found that once I started prepping, I found that I could meet her somewhere. And there was a common thread. I understood as a love for freedom, a bit of a revolutionary spirit, and that stuff really speaks to me. So, I immediately felt one with her. I felt to become her, a good starting point would be to befriend her. And as I prepped more and more, I even found a sense of protectiveness. And that is something, the minute I felt that, I thought, okay, I think perhaps I can hold on to this and develop from here that here is this like strong, badass, very angry also character. But when I read about her, I was able to see through to a tenderness. And
absolutely.
that's what I felt that through the performance, through the depiction, if that's what I can bring out, is what I attempted to do.
And you've done it. I mean, we're looking forward to seeing the movie, and we hope
Yeah.
it releases in India soon. But we could see that, like you said, she's a badass, toughie, been through a rough time in life, something that many of us, have never been able or will never be able to experience. And yet you brought out that tenderness in her. I mean, quite beautifully. So.
I had to, like I said, I mean, that itself felt like the artistic responsibility around it, because I mean, we all live in spaces of grey. No one is a complete badass, and no one is a complete softie. So and that was my attempt at, like I said, humanizing her. It's really how you are, how I am, how all of us are. So I felt there was no reason not to try my very best to bring that out
in her. Let's go back to your early years. You grew up in Calcutta in a very liberal Bengali household. You studied literature. You wanted to be a journalist.
Yes.
You wanted to be a journalist.
I think all the journalists are laughing.
How did those early years in Calcutta kind of influence your decision to take up the arts? And by the arts, I mean the whole cinema, theatre, illustration. Tell us a little bit about those early years and how it influenced your approach to arts, theatre, cinema in particular.
So, as you said, I grew up in a reasonably liberal Bengali home, and of course, while growing up, I didn't think of it as a liberal home. It took leaving home for me to then realize, oh, okay, the parents were pretty cool. And I think there was always an artistic environment somehow, because my parents are not from artistic field, so to say. My father was a surgeon, mother a teacher, so quite a type A kind of jobs in that sense. But somehow I think also I'm going to credit that to just the general environment in Calcutta, and for most Bengali homes there is a stress on doing well in studies, but that's never enough. Like you have to know how to sing or draw or act or something, otherwise you're just not good enough. So that environment was there from the beginning. I didn't really feel forced in it. I enjoyed acting, like the school plays, elocution, anything a little bit performative. I was quite a dramatic kid also, I think.
Okay.
So it all aligned with that. And I think that steam kind of only picked up by the time I went to Jadavpur, where I studied literature, and as you said, I wanted to write eventually. And I didn't do theatre specifically as part of the university, but I did get active in the theatre scene in Calcutta then, with a theatre troupe who were friends, are friends to the day. My very good friend Tanmay is here, who is a marvelous actor. He's plays Murad in the film. Also was part of the theatre scene in Calcutta then, and yeah, we felt like we were doing cool stuff, breaking down some boundaries, and we felt that, and so that's when, but I'd still not really zeroed in on I want to act. And then I acted in a Bengali film called Madly Bengali. Please don't look it up or anything much. Probably shouldn't have said it. But and in that film as well, we were 6 friends that were cast from the theatre group. Okay. And we were cast because the director wanted 6 actors who were already friends, or 6 friends who could act. So it worked out, and I did that film. I was done with college by then. I picked up a job as a junior, like a sub-editor in a magazine. And I thought that's where my life is going. When one fine day, another dear friend of mine, Anasuya Sengupta, he comes to me and he says, "Hey, do you want to work in an Australian film as a DA?" And my first question was, whatever is a DA? I don't know. And I found out then it's a director's assistant. And he encouraged me to quit my job the next day, my magazine job, which I did. And thank you. Yeah, so I'd worked as a DA in an Indo-Australian feature in Calcutta and acted in a film with a bunch of my friends. And that's when I decided to leave Calcutta to move to Bombay, because it seemed my older brother was already there. It seemed like an obvious progression. I don't know why, but it did at that time. And at the time, I felt that this is enough ammo for me to go to Bombay, that, oh, I've acted and I've assisted, and now let's see. So that's, sorry, I rambled a little bit, but
no,
yeah.
We love hearing the story from you. You studied at Jadavpur University, you studied literature, you said. They recently invited you back in June this year, 15 years later, to kind of celebrate your achievement. And in the post that I read on social media, you said it was a different kind of a university. You all didn't have to, the students were not forced to attend. There was no compulsory attendance as such. If you missed classes, the students weren't judged. But yet, if you missed classes, most of you used to kick yourself because you knew that you missed a great lecture, a life lesson, so to speak. I mean, it's wonderful. And you specifically said it redefined authority for you, your time at Jadavpur, and that it taught you, in your words, that revolution and peace can go hand in hand, and so can rage and healing. And I thought that was so, I mean, we felt it because nowadays academics sometimes is different. Can you explain that a little bit to us, what you meant by that, and how your time at Jadavpur University, the role it influenced you to be the person that you are?
Well, so I think when at 18, I came from a pretty structured, standard schooling environment. And then I went to Jadavpur, and specifically the English department. And I think it was my first time seeing grown-ups not act authoritative. And that, in my eyes, made them more authoritative. It made me respect them more and admire them. There was no forcing, or in my 18-year-old understanding, I felt no one is power-tripping on authority. No one is saying, oh, why didn't you come to class? It was more that, okay, you're a grown-up. It's your call. You don't want to come for the lecture, don't come. You're the one that's missing out. And slowly we started understanding that that's true. In fact, I wish I'd spent a little more time inside the classrooms than outside. But, and I learned lessons in those years which I understand more as the years go on. I was just having fun then. But to have these kind of role models, there was almost a non-negotiable dedication to simplicity, authenticity, believing in what they felt was the right way to be, and an utter push to be more and more yourself. So I think in terms of that inspiring me and influencing me artistically, it was probably everything, or almost everything.
Yeah.
And not to take away from the experiences that rolled out later, but I think I kind of started becoming the person that I eventually wanted to be. And that stayed with me. That
Wow.
sense of how, it was beautiful to me that to be, profoundly effective authority, one can behave in a certain way. And that kind of a leadership, that kind of teaching
Correct.
is what stayed with me. Eventually, because I left Calcutta, I wanted to act, then ditched it, got into production design and designing and building sets for many years. Got a little bit burnt out with that. Is when I moved to Goa. Started illustrating a lot, and no matter what the art form, which I now realize, you don't kind of are very conscious of it when you're going through it.
Yes.
But it's no matter which the art form, what different ways of me attempting to express myself, but a certain I don't know, an internal strength and a stubbornness of being authentic, like no, pardon my language, a no bullshit meter of trying to find my truth. And I do think that's where it started. That's where the seeds were sown.
Tanmay Dhanania, you said, was with you in college and Jadarpur.
Not college.
In Kolkata.
Friends from Calcutta.
From
yes,
Calcutta.
Around college time.
Yes. Okay. Friends then, friends now. You all share a home together.
A home, a cat.
A home. He's your best. He's kind of your really good friend, and also probably your best and only friend as the character of Murad, Renuka's best yes. friend and only friend.
In real life, not only friend, but in yes. the film, definitely my only friend. Yes.
And you've spoken so much about how your friends, your community in the reel that mean to you. Was it easy to portray for you and Murad, for Renuka and Murad, to kind of bring that on screen with Tanmay already being a very good friend of yours?
I don't think we even really thought about it, because the chemistry for the scenes that so much of it was really already there, and I think that's very lucky for me, because Tanmay is a very seasoned actor. I am not. It was my first outing, so to say, and so that was incredible to have that already there, and me knowing that it would be there, because we didn't have to act out the friendship. We did have to act out the scenes, but not the friendship. And I could be biased, but when I saw the film, I mean, those are really one of my favorite scenes. So, because I think you can see the friendship. Yes.
You said you wanted to be a journalist, but life took you down a different path. If you were a journalist today, what are the kind of stories that you would like, that you would tell?
I think what I try to do with the rest of my art as well, I'm very drawn to stories that need telling, that are often stopped from being told. That's attractive to me, appealing to me. I feel a sense of duty almost. So I'm hoping that as a journalist, I would be able to bring that, and to listen more.
Listen.
Because I see that missing quite a bit.
Quite a bit, yeah. True. Like you said, you acted in your first film, Madly Bengali, in your own many years ago. Calcutta took you to the bustling city of Mumbai, where you auditioned for several films, but cinema took a back seat, and you eventually got into other, theatre, illustration, production. You then moved to Goa, like you said, for a quieter life. And then suddenly, 15 years later, cinema finds you, so to speak. creeps up behind you and really draws you in, almost like serendipity in a way. Did you feel you manifested it, you put it out in the universe, and this is what you were meant to do, and therefore it found you, even though you were not seeking it anymore?
I feel that way now, on the other side of all of this. I don't think I was actively on the daily or consciously, which is, it's quite crazy because even for me to take a stock of that, even I'm asking myself that was I subconsciously doing it. And actually I didn't leave the world of cinema at all, because I AD'd, I worked as an assistant director quite a bit, and then I transitioned to the production design department where I became
behind the scene
production designer for many, many years.
Correct.
So I do feel that I stayed in the world very, very much because I liked it, I enjoyed it. It inspired me on the daily to just work with people that I admire, people that I can learn from, newer experiences. So I think maybe because, I don't know, I'm still trying to work it out, but possibly remaining in that world and trying to flesh out all the other aspects of it is, as I said, I now see it that that's what I ended up doing. Did I know that's what I was doing? No, I did not. I was trying to do the job at hand every time, and the move to Goa actually happened because I think I had production design for almost a decade, and as much as I love it, I still love it. I don't think I'm at the end of my production design career. I'm sure I want to act now, but I'm sure there will be more design work. But something was feeling amiss after a few years, is when I started drawing quite a bit.
Yes.
And once I started drawing so much, that amissness felt like it was taken care of. So I think I was constantly trying to find a newer way to express, a different way to solidify my voice, something. I was not doing it very, it wasn't in a contrived way, but it was something, and I felt it then, something was underway in a way, and is when I also started seeing myself as, and that had not happened before, as a sort of a multidisciplinary artist. And I started enjoying that feeling, because I also started then feeling that, one art form almost always informs the other. And so even when I was drawing so much, my previous interest and inclination to writing started just surfacing a little bit. I had already been with a visual space professionally for so long. So everything was kind of merging into each other, and I felt I was already getting like a tighter community here in Goa over the 6-7 years, and I very much felt like experimenting with a slightly different way of living. And I mean, I'd come into Bombay when I was 21, was there for almost 14 years. So part of me felt like, okay, I've experienced this, I've seen this. Could there be another way? I mean, why not? Let me check it out. It was really like that, and I felt very secure with many friends here, friends and artists like Tanmay. Sorry, I keep using you as an example because you're here. But we have more friends who were kind of experimenting with this, living a little bit differently, a little bit more artistically.
Yes.
And I think it gave me confidence that it's not just me. There's many of us.
Community.
There was there was a collective voice in it, and that's always been my speed. I thrive in collaboration. I thrive in a sense of not just for me and just me. It just feels more enriching with others and with the togetherness. So I think with that, with those thoughts is what I came here, and I did start thriving. It was whole, I mean, more than me, even my cat, who I got from Bombay, and I saw her and I'm like, that's what I'm feeling. Like, you know, she was walking on natural ground for the first time, and no, I know it's funny, but it's true.
Yes,
because
that's true.
I kept seeing her, and I knew that inside I am feeling the same things. And it's around that time, after these decisions, um, I call it magical. I don't know how else to explain it, but that's when Konstantin got in touch with me for the film. So for me, I, I understand it like that, that maybe I was meant to make a little bit of room, or want to think a little differently, in a wider way, in a broader way, and that's why then the old dream, so to say, came to me. Yeah, that's how I've understood it for myself.
And your cat is Mowgli. Mowgli
Yes.
is enjoying the move to Goa. Has enjoyed the move to Goa just as much as you.
Yeah, completely. I simply serve her.
You've worked on a range of projects, not only theatre, across disciplines, over a decade, beyond a decade. Is there any particular project per se that you enjoyed working on deeply more than others, and that influenced you? It doesn't have to be cinema only, beyond.
Honestly, it's very difficult to pick because I've done
Yeah.
so much. There's been commercials, there's been movies, shows, plays. It's been a lot. But in terms of, rather than a specific project inspiring me, I think the environments that I've worked in have constantly inspired me. Especially being a production designer, you know, you can't design a film by yourself. I mean, good luck if you even try. We have huge teams of there's carpenters, there's so many karigars, painters, electricians, so on. And that actually has been my most inspirational space to come from, to work with people that let's be real, in our country you won't otherwise get a scope to till you are, working in disciplines where everything does merge. And what I learned from them and how they inspired me really, like, is on top of the pile, because uh, it's so much hard work and love for with no hope of recognition, often little money, but still being surrounded by that love. And I can call my carpenter at midnight and be like, Dada, ye theek se nahi hua. And he said, don't worry, madam, main aake kar dega morning mein. And so these are the things that have always kept me in the world, and it's first them, and after that it's like, and I have been lucky to work with marvelous directors and different kinds of visual artists, actors. In fact, I think because I'm not a trained actor, but so a lot of people keep asking me that how did you prep, and like almost how did I know if what I'm doing is the right thing. But I do think that I had an opportunity of observing some of the best artists of our time, and who knows, maybe I was quietly making notes somewhere. And yeah, and I think just all of that has been inspirational, has touched me to seeing a lot of talent, but also understanding it is the talent paired with a dedication to being a good human being. Working together with others is when you can hope to create something good.
In a bit, we'll throw the floor open to questions in a while. So if anyone has some, we can think of it. You spoke so much about the people and the community and how much that means to you. We all tend to have this one person or several people who ground us, who anchor us, who support us unconditionally, no matter what. It's difficult to pick one or two, and probably there are several. Is there this one person, several people, a community that you feel supported you unconditionally that you'd like to speak about?
I mean, if I have to pick, which is so unfair.
Yes, I know.
Because I have a very, very supportive family. Very close to my father, who unfortunately isn't anymore, but I'm still close to him for what that's worth. So my father definitely, but an extremely supportive partner that even when I was filming and I realized, that to go that deep into becoming someone else in a way, to have had that anchoring to, even if it's not come back home to like send a text to at the end of the day, I think there was extreme value in that. It wasn't even, it's a kind of support which, it's like the voice is telling you, just go, run, do it all,
And it matters.
And to hear even if he's not saying it, to constantly hear I am there, to just know it. I think that's, for me at least, that the sense of security that brought me, liberated me to then go play, then take it wherever I wanted to attempt to. So family and specifically husband.
And there's so much strength in that support, right? That unconditional support. You now live in Goa, in Siolim, with your cat, Tanmay, and a great community. What is it, something different that you have discovered about Goa, which you didn't know of before, now having made Goa your home?
That it's so much more than the parties and the beaches. Instantly, we're in the smack in the middle of Goa monsoon, so that's that's another love affair, I think, which we all have with the monsoon. There's really so much about this place that meets the eye from the outside, and I'm sure I've barely even just scratched the surface. There's so much deeper one can go, there's so much more to know. And yes, as you said, a community of friends, of course, anyway, but I actually really enjoy my, growing relationships with my neighbors, the shop next door, and it's
carpenter.
There's no carpenter right now, but I mean, there are ones, but they barely ever come on time when you ask them.
That's good.
The community, the Goan community as well, which is, I'm cognizant of being an outsider, so to say, and every day you see the warmth, and there's many lessons there in how to be more respectful, how to try to give a little bit. I think I'm still working all that out and playing around with that.
You have a lot of lovely tattoos. You want to pick one and tell us the story behind one?
How do I do that?
I see Mowgli on one, I think.
Okay, we'll go with the Mowgli one. There's too many, I have an alien here that everyone would like to see. I like that. I just think it's really
funky
cool.
one.
No, I mean, all of this has been collected over many,
and a little
years.
heart. It's all like this. Like you're the canvas also for all of the art around.
Yeah, and I didn't know my acting career will pick up at this stage in my life, so I wouldn't have got so much ink otherwise.